Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another ODogcraft episode. Today, like usual, I'll be showing you what I've been up to, and then we'll get on to our projects for today. So, out here, we have a copper block field. It's my oxidation field. I want them to all turn into this nice oxidized color here. And there's a reason for that. That's for my future storage room. I'm going to use copper golems. And I'm just going to pre-oxidize them so then they turn into fully oxidized copper golems. And then we can place them in our storage room instead of having to wait for them to oxidize. And down here in the cave, we've been busy. So I finished all the walls up down there. But before we get to that, you can probably tell that this is all mossed up. We have actually finally made that moss farm, and it's producing really well. We've been able to moss all of this area up, which I like a lot more than just the stone. Yeah, so we've even mossed all the way here, so we kind of like stayed on the same level. I don't know what I'm going to do with the walls back here and on that side. I might continue this kind of design. I don't know yet. Haven't come up with that. And haven't done any enchanting yet, but I thought this would be a good little nook, our little enchanting corner right here. Because it was kind of empty, so I'm like, what do I put there? But yeah. So let's hop on down. Haven't done this side yet. This is still not natural cave. But coming through here, I've done all the walls as the same as last episode. And then I added this wall here, because without this wall, you can see the bubble column and the cave beyond it. It was just looking too busy, so that kind of breaks up the view. And I think it looks a lot nicer in here with that. It's more an enclosed atmosphere. And then I put in this little river right here. I thought it looked really nice. I wanted to put a bridge, but it's just too narrow, and the bridge was just too much in this area. So this lily pad path looks nice in here, and some atmosphere. These little bushes at night, it looks really nice, like right in here. All the dragonflies flying around. Yeah, I really like the way it turned out. Hope you guys do too. Just some greenery and some nice stuff around. Some flowers. I just like hanging out in here now, you know. Once you complete like a nice build like this, you just want to hang out and enjoy the atmosphere. All right, let's get on to the moss farm. I'll actually turn it off because it's quite noisy. There we go. Okay, so I wanted to design my own moss farm. I tried, but I just couldn't get... There's a few things that I really wanted in the moss farm, and I couldn't figure it all out myself. So I actually followed a tutorial on this. I will link that in the description. I'm not going to try to say the YouTuber's name because I don't know how to pronounce it properly. But yeah, there will be a link in the tutorial, and I highly suggest you check that out. It's a really cool design. And why I went with his design is you can choose to either collect some of the drops here, or as I have it right now, is you can turn this off and it will just be a bone meal farm. That's something that I couldn't figure out myself to do, but I really enjoy that. So I'll try to explain this as best I can. So we have the cobblestone generator here, and that pushes or sorry, not cobblestone. We have the stone generator. You don't want cobblestone because that can't be turned into moss. So you have the stone generator here pushing forward, and there's an observer right about here. And when this moss block gets broken, the water comes out and pushes all the droppings to this water stream. And also, when that observer gets broken, it bone meals this entire place. You get the carpet and the azalea and all that. So that's very nice. And then gets collected, comes down here. Two of the collection systems go right into composters to get turned into bone meal. And then one comes here, and collects droppings. And then after it gets turned into bone meal, it gets put back into the system, into this dropper, which is faced up, 2 droppers faced up, and then 1 dispenser for the bone meal. And see, there's 41 in here right now. When this comparator gets a signal strength of 2, so basically the comparator is going into this block, and then this block is sending the signal to here. So once it gets 1 more than 41, it will actually unlock this hopper and then send the bone meal to here. But then the rest go up to the farm and get used up. So it's recycling what we're using. So this farm, I don't have to ever add bone meal to it, but it makes me a bunch of bone meal. So that's also another system I couldn't figure out. So still learning, and watching tutorials is definitely helpful, learning different processes. If you're into redstone, trying to figure out how things work and why they work is really interesting to me. So and then these are just a delayed system, because if a stone generator is not working at the right timing, it can produce cobblestone, which you don't want. So this timing is set up so it only produces stone. So it's slow, but it gets the job done. Does everything I need it to do. So that's that right there. Showed you this place. Oh yeah, one more thing. So I was having a lot of trouble with the pumpkin and melon farm. I actually tore it down. It's all in this chest right here. So what was going on is I actually found out that this farm was in 4 different chunks. There's the chunk there, and there. And when the minecarts were going through, if I left the game or if the chunk got unloaded, they would actually get stuck in between the borders of the chunks and would not start moving again once the chunk gets loaded again. So what I tried is putting chunk loaders, so basically an ender pearl and a bubble column in each of the chunks to keep these chunks loaded all the time. But as you can see, there's no more ender pearls. For some reason, they disappeared. I don't know why. I might have messed something up there, but the solution I'm going to have for this is I'm just going to build it in 1 chunk. So I'm going to rebuild it all in 1 chunk. It should fit. The farm's 9 by 9 and chunks are 16 by 16, so that should be no problem. Making mistakes and learning, it's all part of the process. So I figured this out, and now we can redo it. Yeah, that's one thing I really enjoy about this game is, it's all trial and error. You can figure things out. I do like following tutorials sometimes when I just can't figure it out, but when you can figure it out yourself, it's definitely more satisfying, for sure. Yeah, so I can learn from that from the future and make sure if I use hopper minecarts, they're in the same chunk and go from there. But today, what I want to do today is I want to build a furnace array. We went exploring, and I was finally able to find some dripstone. So I want to build a 16 furnace array in here using lava as the fuel. It'll be an infinite fuel source for us, which is awesome. With the cauldrons and the dripstone system. So we're going to create that. And then I also want to decorate this hallway here to our nether portal. You know, not just stone. We'll come up with a cool nether design in here, I think. And maybe like a little window to our moss farm, because they ended up connecting. So I think that would be a neat thing to do. All right. We're going to go head to that lava pool that I told you about. That is in my cave system. If I'm able to find it. I'm still trying to learn. There it is. I'm still trying to learn. It's kind of like a maze down here. Alright, let's go. 16 buckets of lava. 16 buckets acquired. Yeah, so eventually I do want to expand all down these hallways. Having farms and rooms all over. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good spot for my storage system. It's going to be pretty big, so trying to map that out. Yeah, so actually first, let's get in all the dripstone. So this is basically going to be the roof. You're not really going to see much of this. Or you might. But yeah, I don't want it to take up too much space. So I want it up here out of the way. And then we just have to fill in all of these. Just like that. Oh, we already have some full. I'm kind of just making this up as I go. I have no set plans. I just kind of like designing as I go. Might not be the most efficient way, but that's the way I like to do it. Just play in the game and just enjoy your time. Something like this. Oh, I like that. That looks cool. By the way, if you guys watching ever have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. I'm always open for ideas, trying things out. Yeah, if you guys watching want to give me any suggestions at all, let me know. Let me know what you think. If you like this or not. Yeah. Furnace time. We have the fuel sources. Furnaces are going to be here. Okay, then I'm going to need a hopper going in the top. We got some lightning. Yeah, we're going to have a hopper going in the top. And then, so that'll be our product that we want to smelt. And we're going to need, I'll probably set up a minecart as well to go back and forth. So maybe like a chest somewhere here goes into the minecart. It goes across, comes back, fills all of these up, 8 on either side, and then fill. I think so. The fuel will be manual. that's no problem. Just come up, grab a bucket, put it in, and that a lava bucket should smelt 100 items. So unless we're doing a large product, since we're divvying it up between two, we shouldn't have a problem. I might actually make it, instead of 2 minecart systems, I'm going to make 1. I'm going to make it wrap all the way around either side and keep looping back around, and that should evenly distribute it between all 16. That should be no problem. And then we'll have, I might have another hopper minecart. Yeah, I'm going to have another hopper minecart picking everything up so I don't have to go to every single one and collect them. So I'm going to have another system underneath, picking them up, going around, doing the same thing. And that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to decorate it. So I'm going to get the actual system in place, and then I'll come back and show you guys what we have done. Alright guys, we are back. I have this thing mostly done. I just have to tidy up and clean up. Before I do that though, I wanted to show you basically how this thing works before I close everything off. Alright, so we've done some decoration here. I think my girlfriend's definitely going to like that I use pink. I wasn't sure what color to use. I think the pink works really well with the dark atmosphere we have in here. So, yeah, that's that. But anyways, let's go how this thing works. Alright, so 8 furnaces on each side. You already saw that we have the lava, which will be our fuel. So grab a lava, put it in here. That's how that works. But we have a rail running on top, and that's going to feed everything we want to smelt into the furnaces. I got a powered rail on either side and one here, and that perfectly gets around fine. How I start the system is I load this chest up with whatever I want to smelt. Then the hoppers take them, put them in the minecart, and when I want it to start, flick this lever, it goes around, it'll fill up all the furnaces, just like that, keep going around. I wanted to be able to see it going around. I think that's a neat feature. And when we're done, flick this lever off, and when it comes back, it'll stop here. Yeah, so it'll stop here, just like that. And I can wire these up together so they both go, but I wanted them separately. So this one's on its own lever. After everything's done smelting, go and it'll pick everything up. This one's a little slower. I don't know if it's the corners or what. I think they might get caught on these corners. Let's see. If I just take these out. I don't know if that's faster or not, but they're getting out of sync. So that is why I didn't want them running together. But anyways, yeah, we can shut this thing off. When it comes back, hopper will collect it. Everything we smelted, I did a test run, will end up here, just like that. And I added in a feature that I think is really cool. So I wanted to be able to come here and collect XP from it whenever I wanted, because these guys will store all the XP. So after a few smelting sessions, I can come and do that. Now there's a really easy way to do that. There's putting levers on every single furnace, but I don't like the way that looks. So I came up with this design. When I flick this lever, right now, all the hoppers will be able to collect whatever smelts. I flick this lever, and all the hoppers become locked, and they will not be able to pick whatever's up they'll leave one thing or whatever they smelt in here. I pick it up and collect all of the XP. So how I did that is I have torches, 8 on either side, running beside the hoppers. So right now they're locked because these torches are on, and if I flick this lever, they will be unlocked now, just like that. How we did this is with repeaters. I initially tried to just run redstone along, but they connect up and that doesn't work. So these repeaters make sure that the line is going straight this way and just this way. That's why I use repeaters there, and the redstone just powers them. Yeah, so this line's just going down, and the repeaters make sure it's going this way, and it goes all the way around. Same thing on this side. This took me a little bit of trial and error to figure this system out, but I think it's really neat how I worked that out. And as you just saw right here, this is how we're powering the powered rail. It's right above this block, just a lever turned on. Very simple. Yeah, so that is that. So now I'm going to tidy this place up, have a nice little hallway, and we will be back when the final result is in. Alright, the finished product, everybody. We finished this hallway. Didn't really do much here. Whoops. Forgot the chest. Anyways, now it's the finished product. Here we go. Did this little hallway, nothing special. Just labeled some things, you know, resources go up here, collection. I just realized that should be a down arrow instead. And XP right here. Yeah, so that is that. I'm very happy with this. This is definitely going to help us out for the future. I won't have to manually keep pumping in resources, and this will be able to smelt a lot of resources at once, which is awesome. Yeah, so that is that, everybody. And then the next project we're going to be working on is decorating this section of the cave to the nether portal. So I'm going to get some ideas together and collect some resources, and then I'll come back once I have it all gathered up and basically talk you through what my plan is for this, what I want it to look like. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll build this thing together. Alrighty. We have collected hopefully everything that we need. I just went to the nether and grabbed a whole bunch of stuff at random, so we'll throw this together and see what we come up with. So I think I want to raise the roof a bit for sure. Get some more height on it. And I think one of my biggest things I'm trying to think of is, do I want it to start right here? Like, will that contrast be too much? And will it draw your eye away when you're looking right here? Like, all you're gonna see is nether stuff. So that transition. So we're going to start with the harsh transition. Go from there. I did put this glass up so far. Just so I can see like where I can work with and where I can't, because I want to keep this area a perfect box like it is right now. So this glass has to be here. So we have to work with that. So that's why I put that up. Yeah, so let's just get to work. I'll try to explain my process a little bit. It's just a little bit of trial and error. Kind of what I think looks good and what doesn't. I kind of want to keep it very natural looking. So kind of just going to get the general shape of things right here. All right, I think this is pretty good for a general shape. Now we'll just replace all of this stuff. I think the ground, oh, my chest is in here. I'll start with the ground. I think I want that to be netherrack. So we'll get to digging all that out. We'll push this back. Oh, I made myself a bow as well. I called it the Flaming Torpedo. I did not want to go back into the nether without a bow, so I crafted that up. And then also just did some quick enchants. Didn't do anything special with my armor, but I wanted some protection before I went into the nether. Because actually I went into a nether fortress, my first nether fortress that I found, and got a few jump scares there. Wither skeletons are not fun to deal with. Not fun at all. You know what? I'm going to consider this glass wall as kind of like a containment field. Like the nether is trying to spread through this portal into my cave. And I want to contain my farm from it. So yeah, so I'm not gonna turn this into netherrack. And it's slowly spreading out. That's kind of like the story that I just came up with right now. I think that's pretty cool though, you know. It's just seeping out of the portal and contaminating my base just a little bit. Eventually we might put in some kind of decontamination chamber or something to show that we need to like stop it from spreading there. But right now we'll go with this. A quick side note, at night, definitely my favorite time. Hanging out in my base. All the fireflies are out, and I think it just the atmosphere here just is really nice. So over here I'm doing a basalt tower that you find in the nether, a little bit of nether wart that you'll find around, and then a miniature version of one of the towers that you'll find with the spawners and all that. I am going to keep this exterior wall here. Just a little too tight, so I don't mind seeing that here. Because like this is where like it has to stop, because this is like my wall. Because the nether can't seem to spread through my walls, just whatever the natural terrain is. So yeah, that's that. We'll finish this up here with a little more decoration, and then I'll show you the final product. All right, we have finished it. This is the final product. I think it looks really good in here. We added these bone structures that are found as well. I like this nether fortress a lot. I think it looks really good in here. And it just adds a little element to our for our nether portal. I almost feel like I'm actually in the nether when I'm in this room. And that's what we're going for, so that's really nice. Let's take a look at it from in here. Through the glass. Oh, that looks cool. I like that red glass. Yeah, that's really nice. I'm really happy with that. And I know this is a big no-no, but I'm actually going to keep this bed in here. Yeah, just like that. I think it's light enough in here, but just to make sure. Perfect. I really like that. All right, so just a little recap. I showed you guys this room right here that we completed. We made this furnace array down here. Really enjoying this as well. And I showed you my moss farm as well, which, yes, there will be a link in the description and the YouTuber's name whose design that this is. And then we finished off with what I just showed you in here. All right, everybody, this concludes another episode of ODogcraft. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think, and have a wonderful day. Bye.